Hello and welcome. Oh, it's not letting me see me OBS, so I'm making sure I'm recording. Yeah, no, I can see it. Right, smashing. Oh, I seem to have lost my mouse. I do. Yeah, it's like it's trying to capture it between the OBS level and the level where Windows is. I thought I'd start up here because obviously we've got rather a motley crew of like equipment up here. I thought, well, I'd like to repair it at the very least so that when we do come fetch it, that everything is spot on. So yeah, I thought I'd get this done. I'm quite chuffed because I love this new. I do love the mod. I struggled with it a bit. I don't think it was working to begin with. The what I'm going to call the second-hand equipment mod, which is the used equipment. Yeah, it really takes me back to FS19, where I used to always use that, and it really did have its shortcomings as well as anybody who ever used it. I mean, as in, like, it looked, when it said second-hand equipment, it really meant like almost destroyed equipment. It was so badly scratched, it was unbelievable, but nevertheless it was very, very cheap in comparison to the standard one. So therefore I put up with it, because it sort of a start from scratch start. You really need as much equipment and as little a cost as possible. Ooh, that's, yeah, you got to be careful how you do this. How are our trees doing as well? Oh yeah, not too terrible. So one thing I love about obviously having that field is we're going to see the growth on those like trees as we sort of go on. So did I know I did repair them. Yeah, I did. It's done honest. It is. Yeah, so we'll grab this at another time. We don't really need it right now, but I thought, oh, the other thing is, yeah, we need to go through till 3 o'clock, so we may as well do that at the same time, because there's absolutely nothing left to do. I think it's August when our crop will be ready. Great demand at the slurry yard. Well, oh, actually, yeah, you say that, but like it could be super duper. I've not paid much attention to great demands in FS25 because I've never seen anything that's truly really worth an awful lot. Yeah, I mean the digestate, not really anything near the price that it was like going to be. So what was it talking about? If it was slurry or manure, it's pointless because we haven't got that anyway. So now this is one we need both. So. No. This is a 3-point link on the back of this. We can do both at once. Yeah, it's just me not thinking properly. So right, let's carry on zipping then, because I don't want to I want to go through till 3 o'clock anyway, because we're trying to maximise this. Obviously, we've worked out that doing this really is optimal for many things. Actually, my first one was for wool on Oak City, where I realised that I was getting loads more wool by speeding up, and I obviously did testing to see, well, is it going to impact the wool? Not quite. I thought I might just about get through that. Sort of. I don't know that really. Yeah, I don't know that would be classed as you getting through the door successfully. Really, I think that was a little bit more. Wow, that was an excellent repair for both of those. Right, it's 3 o'clock, so let's have a look. And we need to somehow squeeze through the other door, being as you're insisting on us going straight out like that. That was a little bit better actually. Excellent. Yeah, so we should come pick these up some other time, and we should check to see. Yeah, we've still got that bale to grab, haven't we? Can you imagine the silage, how that would be really in real life? Now, it would, I would imagine, be almost like unusable in real life. Thank goodness it is only digital and things last forever. It is true. It's one of those advantages of the game being the game, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, just look at that. Just through going through the time, we've got all of these things. The Heston, I've not seen it actually yet. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what the Heston's like. Yeah, I am actually. I've had that on another Let's Play. It's not a bad one, actually. Yeah, although I've got to be honest, what I found was, yeah, it's stupendously good value, and I think you can have a front coupler. No, I had to put a coupler, like, I did the trick, didn't I, where you stick the front, that on as a, with the adapter. to make a front 3-point link, and it did work quite nicely, but it's got terrible brakes unless it's been like changed. So yeah, we won't sell that. We will grab as much of this as we can. Those two are practically not worth anything. I think 30 grand has got to sort of be the cutoff for doing this type of thing, or else it's going to be too bothersome for everybody. I just don't like dragging it. It's obviously a way to make cash. We know this, but there's got to be a limit that you sort of. Well, and it depends. The other thing is, I always say this, and then there's sometimes where even 150, like for 1,500 thing, is sort of a bit of a gain when you're really absolutely skint. Whereas I wouldn't normally consider that because I'm thinking time. But the other thing is, if you got to like do a run anyway like this, where there's something even for 8,000 that would translate to 800 gain, it's no more difficult to take the two things down here and will take no more longer. So I think, well, sometimes it really it's not a terrible thing. Now the other thing is, I want to see if Giants have fixed that issue. Like I've always had to drop these because then the telehandler still thinks it's got that weight on it. Have Giants fixed that bug? Yeah, because really it shouldn't affect it. So if we sell that and that, does the telehandler still act like it's got that weight, or has that been fixed? No, that feels normal. Yeah, no, it does. That's spot on. Yeah, it's not. It sort of like acts like it's drunk, and like you can feel the weight is still there, even though it's not. So, yeah, bearing that in mind, what we've just said, we could grab the Smarag on the front, or is the worth the most? And then the Heston, which one I am going to have a go at that sometime. And I know we could have done that, but we've got a round bale picker-upper. So to me, it's a bit silly to actually go for that. We will get through the door with that. I think just about. Yeah, I reckon maybe. Yeah, I would love to have a go at the Heston. Obviously, square bales have sort of been treated with less love than round, which in a way I quite like. I prefer me round bales, if I'm honest, although they're harder to work with, which is, of course, why square bales are fought. No, I don't think that's going to go through. I think like that's just going to crash and burn right into that. Like, ooh, okay, well, yeah. Again, I think the door gives you a little bit of flexibility. I think maybe sometimes it's not quite as solid as it looks, but it is to a degree. Yeah, only to a point is that true. Right, fantastic. So we'll go through till August morning. I wouldn't got any sort of thing that's ready to sell. Yeah, a bit of herbicide, we've said this. Mineral feed, minimal amount at the minute. Particle board, yeah, these are all building up ready for the back end. Wood chips, which, yeah, these we're using for that. The digestate is definitely building up too, so is the chipboard and Dawn's Glow. It is also true about the guar bean greenhouse. Yeah, I didn't realise when I built but I can see it. And this is what I love about this, because sometimes your concepts, the game sort of shows you what's wrong. We're not creating enough guar glue and guar beans to actually make for this to do everything. We can see this quite clearly with the emerald drift and the emberwood, and the ebon crest. It's like doing the others first. So it must do it in an order, even though it doesn't look like this, because you'd think, well, Dawn's Glow. And actually, yeah, that is true. Chipboard is at the top. Dawn's Glow is second. Yeah, but ebon crest is right underneath it, and that's not doing anything. And it's not like that's not right. So the game is ignoring some of your things. Like the emerald chips is underneath, is ignoring that too. So is the emerald drift. That's too is underneath that and is doing absolutely nothing. Then it goes down to the OSB and the Oakvale chips and the particle board, which they're also get. So it's like these ones here, although accurate, it's like it's not got enough. And these are all the same when you look at the. No, well, not those, but these are. Yeah, so really, we are losing quite a bit of glue. I'm not sure. I think I've been a bit too ungenerous. I've got to try to acknowledge the loss sort of in these a little, although I've got to be honest, I don't think there would be much loss in this particular recipe. I think I did that with the sawdust. straw mod and just kept on with the same. So again, I'm also always ask for your opinions on things, really. So let's go through till the morning. Yep. No, I did finish that. I was just thinking, well, that was a bit of a bizarre way to finish the conversation, but really, we sort of did. It's just an acknowledgement that it's not perfect and that it's open to scrutiny and change. As I'm sort of going through this, I'm sort of thinking I need to address this problem. Yeah, production costs still high. It's got to be it's got to be chipping, hasn't it, that's doing this. So that's the 8 meter version, which only does the seeds. Oh, now that is, even that, 30 odd grand. So there's quite a few things. Now that interests me. Yeah, the weeder. Is that the what? No, there's one that's a cultivator stroke. Is it this one? I don't think it's the Bordeaux, but we could sort of sell it, I suppose. That one, of course, is beautiful. Again, sort of, that would have been my go-to on many a Let's Play, but now it's not. Yeah, it's sort of... All right, let's just concentrate for 1 second. Yeah, it isn't anymore, because of the fact that I've sort of got so used to all of the... let me just concentrate again. All of the balers that I've sort of got used to have got this ability to produce bales bigger. The G8661 is my definitely firm favourite, and to me is the winner in this race. But even the BB Mods one also I like, and I do like the Colossus, but again the Colossus goes... It's not got enough in the middle for me. It goes like too big. It goes like a little bit bigger, and then I think it just goes monstrously big, and that to me is like, well, seriously? Yeah, this is a bit unrealistic, and I apologise for this. There's no other way to do it. I like the colours. There's no other way to do it to get through the door at the end, so I realise that you could not possibly, even though it's fairly light, actually do that in real life. Yeah, it's a little bit of a... But there's no other way you can get through that door other than straight on. I mean, I suppose, yeah, the game sort of doesn't show... You could put it on some sort of a contraption. I suppose sometimes the game misses out steps, a bit like those adverts from Apple and that, where they sort of say, yeah, certain steps were missing from this, and there's certain mods that sort of do that in the game where, yeah, I don't know. I could have been easy to run around, I think. Yes. And yes. Right, yeah, it is true. I do think it's true. Certain steps were avoided when making this video. It's probably not too terrible a point, really. So, again, I think we'll do the same again with that. Yeah, again, we need sort of specialists, don't we? So we've already got that kind of thing in a 6 meter jockey. That was, yeah, so really this is just making a bit of cash. We don't need any of these at all, but to make the cash is very useful. Yeah, because we've seriously, of the two Let's Plays, it's strange, but I think I've done less. We've done like contracts and like sessions, session for session. The new farm start is doing better than the start from scratch, but that's if you were sort of like time years wise, I would say we're about equal. But again, it depends on how you yeah, because I don't think we've gone through the years as quickly due to the fact we've done more on the start from scratch, so the months have gone through slower. Yeah, I suppose I ought to check this. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have a special event, I think, where we do a Saxlingham like event. Oh yeah, it does go through the door slightly. Yeah, just a little bit. It goes through that door. Yeah, there's a little bit of like wispiness in the middle where the door frame is that seems to allow a little tiny, and it is a tiny bit as well, because I've had bigger items and it really does not do much at all. Fantastic. So it's 248. Now then, I would imagine that it's time for us to do our harvest on our oat field alone, I think. So let's actually go and have a look. Am I right in saying this? I think so, because we did sort of look yesterday. It was very... Yeah, we are. Right, so then, in that case, I think it's time. I think we probably, with it being oats, may get that... Ooh, may get that in one. Where is our header? Where did we leave our header? We did have a header, didn't we? Yeah. It's... Huh. That's... Okay, that's different. So it is over there somewhere. Left it sort of like... Oh, no, it's... I know where it is. It's, of course, it's in the yard next door. I did think I haven't seen the header for ages. That's because I was, like, trying to store it next door, wasn't do we... I think we grabbed the tractor to get this. I do. I think that would be a bit of a mistake. In fact, I think telehandler best. Because I think we're going to have to do the old trick of throwing it... Well, yeah, sorry, I won't... Not throwing it. Poor choice of words. Putting it gingerly over the... yeah, over there. Yeah, this is a bit troublesome. I mean, you know, like, third time. This is the Giant's trick. Alright, so we want telehandler. And then we are going to... Yeah, it's not going to take as long, I don't think. Yeah, we'll grab another tractor to grab the 70-tonner, I think. Although that's... I'm not sure we're quite going to need 70 tons. But yeah, really, it's not a terrible thing. We've got the weight on. Fantastic. Can we... No, we can get... The one thing I do like about this design is the fact that obviously you can get to the... yeah, it's too high. I realise I'm playing around, so I apologise for the fact that it looks a bit odd. I'm playing around with like lots of different designs to see what I like the best. I did the same with the flatbeds. It was just to sort of see, well, is that good, bad, indifferent, or... But so you can see it's sort of going straight the way through, because you can see those ball bearings as I call them at the bottom. That's really the 3-point link, but it's in the wrong place. So yeah, I will amend this, but I'm just trying to learn by observation of like shapes and... Wow, why is that struggling so much? Because I think it's because it's a bit large for it, and you're trying to turn it like heavily, which I think it's protesting a little, because I'm not sure that you're supposed to do this to it. I don't think somehow that's going to work. I think we need to manhandle it a little, which of course now that is something we could do, because they are fairly light. So maybe we ought to... it's a monster of a header though. It is a 16 metre, so yeah, it is true. So I think what we ought to do is probably like spin it around like that, and yeah. Oh no, drop that like that, and then like take it straight out. No, we do want to drag it first, and then we want to drop it. Then we want to put it over the... I was going to say the wall, but it's not. It's a... It's a bit of a combination. Ooh, it doesn't like actually dragging it at all. Yeah, you got to go very, very wide, because this is going to soon... It's a bit long, really. Got to go very, very wide. It's still going to scrunch a little. That's why it's a bad idea. It was a silly idea that in theory was a good idea, but in practice a terrible idea, really. So I think we got the wrong way as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, because this is going to be... Yeah, I'm not sure we can escape from the fact we've done this the wrong way around. Me neither. I have no idea. No, we can't really do that reverse. Do you know, sometimes I do get myself into messes. It's true. I needed to think of this before. Mind you, getting it out. I've got to be honest, getting it out of that yard was a nightmare anyway, so I'm just not sure how we can actually do this, because it's not like it's even a small size, is it, where you can actually do this. I think we're going to clock the... yeah, depth perception, there is none. Not sure if I can... it's the tree I'm worried about. I'm not sure. Maybe... Ooh, just about. Right, okay. I've never done that before, and I don't particularly want to ever do that again, but... I can't say that this will not ever happen again. Yeah, we really need to be in the field. We could do with the draper being closed, though, so probably not a bad idea. to let the harvester grab it and close the draper off. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. Now, the draper head is a prime example of a gaming convention that is supposed to represent. I think it's not low enough, or no, not square enough either. Yeah, obviously it disappears, but really it's been taken away somewhere. It's not really supposed to be magic where it disappears like that. It's another one of those conventions that Giants have kindly given us. That really represents it not disappearing with magic. Although, yeah, I suppose it's like being tucked in a way, isn't it? In a way. Yeah, no, it actually does go there. Physically, it does actually tuck it in there. So it is quite clever design. It is really supposed to be like representative of that. Right, so then I've got to make sure now that yeah, we sort of need to shut the gate as well. Not really. Not really. Now, how do we do this? This is... I don't think you're going to get in this without... No, there is a way. Yeah, I'm on the wrong side. It's been a long day, everybody. I apologise for this. Actually, it's true. I've been out most of the day with family, and I wanted to do a session of this. But it is true, I really need to be on that side of that, putting it in so that I'm not in the field, that I'm actually out. Yeah, it's true. I've done this many times. You would not believe it, but no. It is true, actually. I got into quite a habit of doing this because it was one of those quandaries that I faced in FS22 quite a few times. I think the first Let's Play I did, it was Greenlands. I think it is Greenlands. By Peter. Yeah, he's not done any mods, not any maps or anything like that. He did do quite a few. I think he did some in FS19, and then also I think if we need to like do this at an angle. Yeah, we've got to be careful because it's a monster. So sort of we need to have the headery bit like that. Drop that like that, I think, and then maybe grab it again and throw it in the field a little, because it's got to be inside the field. That's more like it. Yeah, it was on Greenlands. I think it was the very first time that I'd actually done this with whatever telehandler, or it was a telehandler or a wheel loader, one or the other, that we actually did with that. Fantastic. So let's we need to now then I think it's this that needs unfolding. Then you need to select that. It is lowered, then you switch it on. No, it's doing that thing again. Yeah, because I've done both. So if I unfold the harvester, yeah, that's the right way. So let's drop that off, pick it up, lower it, and switch it on. And it says you still need to unfold the tool, the harvester, and I've just done that already. Yeah, because if you unfold that, it ducts the draper out, so that can't mean that at all. It's gone wrong, as I've said before that last time, because it's down. Is this one where you need to have it up? No. The steps should be surely tucked away. Let's just switch it work, right? Ah. No, so they actually are on. So, right, okay. No, you see, that's what I'm saying. You see, that worked for the worker. It's not working for me, so that's wrong. Alright, oh, and now it switches on. We could all see that it didn't work. It's true. So we need to like go forwards, clear a bit of space. Oh, one of these is damaged. The header. Now this is the only downside. Yeah, this is almost why I'm almost ready to take this out, is because it needs a solid pallet fork to grab this. I don't think you can even grab it with super strength either. Yeah, I don't think it lets you. No, it's pallet forks or nothing, and it doesn't let you do it with the ethereal ones. It's got to be solid. And I've got to be honest, all things considered, I'm not prepared to actually do that. The idea of it is fantastic, but the fact that you've got to grab this with a standard pallet fork is a little bit annoying, because I can't grab it, because I'm never going to have a standard pallet fork. I'm certainly not going to buy one specially just so as I can pick this up. No, yeah, that's because it's hitting the back bit that's solid. It insists that you have a proper one. As you can see, that's me clicking very madly and it's never picking it up. Yeah, it's true. So then, can we... Yeah, no, I will allow it. It's a small tool. There is one I have seen that is in the... No, yeah, that. There is one that I've seen in the miscellaneous section. Maybe the same toolbox, but that I don't mind this if we can actually do this. It's more of a trick than anything. But I have noticed there is a toolbox somewhere in one of the miscellaneous sections. There is a toolbox somewhere. There we go. Portable service kit by Weasel. Yeah, we do indeed want to buy that. Yes. Okay, so I presume this you can move. It may appear, I think it may be one of those where it appears. Now this I'm used to from the... So I presume you stand in front of it like you used to. Yes, exactly. Point the orange tabs point. Okay. It's a little bit off because it's right. Maybe its range is a bit limited. Or maybe... no. Right. Ooh, okay, well, that was better than I thought. So it'd be interesting to see if we leave this in the field as a test, not because I'm being lazy. It'd be interesting to see. I might get into the habit of using this, is what I'm sort of thinking. Right, smashing. Let's have a look. So then we now need to set field 30. And now I'm going to go into brief time. I don't think we will. I think I'm going to do this myself, actually. Yeah, I do. It's not going to be a long session because we're not doing a lot. So I think we're just going to... still big enough for a time, that's I think. Yeah, so I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on... no, what about the straw? Now we've got a mover. Yeah, so we don't care. We can grab it ourselves. Right, so I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. No, let's talk for a minute. Yeah, I've been brainstorming with Gemini this afternoon. I usually go to Copilot. Has been my co-pilot on many a task. Farming Simulator. I saw that fantastic greenhouse mod that's multi-layered, and I immediately the physicist in me was like, yeah, that's not a good shape for that. It wouldn't work because there's too much sunblock. And so I was like talking to Gemma. I said, what would be the best shape for a multi-layered greenhouse? And I was talking about pyramids. Pyramids are not bad, but a cone is probably also one of those shapes that is probably the best. Like almost like a pyramid, but so you could go with either a pyramid or you could go with a cone that tapers to a point, and then each layer below you'd have a middle section for capturing water. You could put water capturers on the bottom of the... And apparently this is not something that is made up either, as in I don't mean it presents challenges to design and physics that is recognised as actually not being a silly idea. Yeah, because you always wonder, well, is this a silly idea? Well, if it was such a good idea, why don't we sit and realise? That's because it does sometimes present a challenge, but if it makes 3 times the amount of produce from a greenhouse and it only costs 1.5 times the standard greenhouse, then that would still be a win. Although you'd have to you'd have to have some testing where you could prove that your greenhouse was more productive than a standard greenhouse. And if you could do that, then it really would be absolutely sound. So I am going to do it, but it presents challenges. I've done I've done the cylinder. No, I knew that was wrong. The second I said it, I've done the totally forgotten the shape now. What, it's a cone. That's it, is a cone. Yeah, I've done the cone. It's a wider cone though. It's not like an ice cream cone. It's one that's much wider at the bottom and is much more like I'm trying to think of something that's actually shaped. It's quite broad at the bottom and obviously goes to a tapered point, but it's the angle that it goes at. It's because of the multi-floors. That angle is important because you try not to stop the sun for the other floor below it. Obviously the biggest floor is at the bottom, but probably you wouldn't use the entire floor at the very bottom. You could use a rain capture thing that goes all the way through, also for stability, right in the middle of the design. That would also, you probably would have it depends on how big you were going to go. You could either go lift or you could go for one of those staircases that I can't for the life of me think of what it's called, but the staircase that goes round and round and round, and that would work too. You could go right around the middle section, which you could have as a dead man's lift, or what do we call the other thing? People call it something else as well. Wow, we did do that very quickly. I did recognise this. I did think that this would happen like this. I did. So we need the straw as well, for obviously what we're trying to do. And hopefully this, well, we know we're going to do well already, but yeah, this is also the last year, and then we're definitely going to vegetables next time, because I don't want to be keep doing this. I'm usually only doing the mineral feed. I recognise this Let's Play is going to be challenging because we need lots of animals, different types, which means enclosures. We need to go fairly big, we need honey. There's a lot of needs and requirements that we need for this. Now this is not going to present a challenge for this right now, but I'm not going to put it back in that yard, although I'm not sure how we're going to get this across the road. It's so big. Yeah, it's true. It does represent a bit of a challenge. I think we're probably best to go the long way around the new field and around the edge. I'm not sure we can do this any other way. So we can stick this. We don't really even need to bother. I think we got through last year. There's almost like a hidden collision though. Yeah, I was obviously going to grab the trailer, but I don't think we really need that. I think we're all right as we are. I think we can literally put that straight where we need it to be. I did think we'd probably manage that there would not. Let's switch that off. No, we wouldn't need those down because we're about to climb out. It's a bit wide. So we have now got 2 complete grass sets. So we can use 1 per field. What I'd really do love to do though is, if you do sort of get a really advanced team, you really need something like a 350 horsepower tractor. If you get a big enough team like I have on Westbridge Hills, I've got 2 of the bigger tractors almost on the mower all the time. Now I don't mean that obviously I would pull them in if I needed, but it is quite useful. So we could really, if we're going to go to that kind of specialism, we could really do with, right, so let's let that under, and let's actually always get on with using the mover, which is over there. I saw it last session in editing. Didn't realise I'd started his engine. Oh, this needs a bit of repair too. I think we're going to need to close that down a bit as well. It's going to wallop things as it... No, that is right. It's that one there. Always get this wrong. I have to think 3-dimensionally. I get the angles wrong. So that's going to be a lot better like that than it would extended. So we'll grab that bit of straw, which I think is going to be more than 27,000 litres. So we will need a trailer for this, I would say. Is not a bad idea. Maybe the 70-ton is not terribly bad for this. Yeah, so I'm literally sort of thinking designs of greenhouses. I was brainstorming a little bit, and the design is going to be... Yeah, the other thing is obviously the floors need to be something like... No, that's true, we can actually... The thing I love about this type of device is the fact that it can sort of get the stuff that normally falls outside of your field, that where the game goes, no, you can't have it, it's not your land, where really well, it is my straw, It's a gaming convention again that's sort of gone a bit mad because it is your grass or it is your straw, but the game like goes, nah, can't have it. Yeah, that is another. It's the negative side to the gaming conventions that we're sort of discussing. Really, there are good and there are bad sides of game mechanics. That's true. We're really not to go. Well, we're going to grab yeah, going to grab a trailer in a minute, so it doesn't really matter whereabouts we go to or what. Fantastic. Right, let's grab a. You will do nicely. Yeah, really, we've only got the Axion and the Unimark is a little bit bigger. We've only got the Biggie there, the 465. This, we got one of my tractors on this. No, I think we've got it on the other Let's Play. I don't think we've got one on this. Yeah, my Orion. Yeah, the super duper one, the very, very big engine. I don't think we've got that on this one. Although we could order one. That's true, actually. I never thought about that because you'll not get a much better priced. I do mean to fix the actual. I did have proper decals on this, and something went wrong at some point. I forget. I think I had to redo it because something went wrong with the tractor and it broke. So yeah, we could order one of these used. And we will no. We will find used. That's true. Yeah, I will actually should do that. Ooh, is that charged as? Well, at least it's reminded me that we've actually got store deliveries on. Aren't we forgetting the trailer? A small matter of the 70-tonner that you've just passed. Now we do need a bit of fuel, so yeah, let's grab that. And also we need to be fixed because it looks like we're a little bit damaged. Although I am a bit, I've got to be honest, I've said this of myself, I am a little anal for this type. Oh no, and yeah, I can never understand why I'm grabbing the Lance when I'm right next to that. Yeah, I am. Every single time I see a bit of bar, I'm like, ooh, you know, I'm not. Well, I don't go into panic. No, I'm exaggerating. But yeah, I do sort of think, oh well, I'm here anyway. Let's repair it. And I suppose it's not a bad thing in a way, but in another way it is. Oh, now is this really? It's not the easiest. It isn't actually. Although it's the biggest we've got, it's a little bit big. I think really the 47-tonner is a little bit smaller. And again, well, the 200 ton. That is true actually. Yeah. Obviously, the BI Industries it represents the words bigger inside BI, but I've never gone to anything cheaty yet. Only cheeky. I'm not sure I feel comfortable. I know the TARDIS that I'm obviously a massive Doctor Who fan is sort of the idea behind it, and really Doctor Who you could have fitted. It was like another universe, another plane. You could say was the whole concept behind the TARDIS, that you were really bending space and time, as they sort of say in Time Lord like language. But yeah, I'm still not sure that I'm completely comfortable with mucking around with planes. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that I'm. Yeah, I just like it to be cheeky, I think, rather than like that. I think I feel more comfortable with that, I reckon. So I'm not sure BI is going to do. I'm not saying never say never, but yeah, I'm not sure. But it is exceptionally useful for I do want to make something like the Mark Thor made I was going to repair this, wasn't I? Well, we have got a repair point just at the edge of the field. Rather an expensive toolbox for $5, although not really. There could be snap-on tools or anything like that, really. Oh no, I think it'll let me carry it anyway. Yeah, it's not. You don't need super strength, really. Oh, it's a little bit. Huh. Well, where do you need to be to actually like grab that and see that? Well, I beg to differ that there's something right in front of you. Okay, well, let's do this the other way. I know I didn't really mean that, but that's the same thing, really. Just what I meant was, I'm sure the orange tabs are supposed to be facing it, but we'll have a go because there's no vehicle here. Oh, okay, it is the other way around then. Now that's because the one in FS22 you had to face the orange tabs to the vehicle. So this is slightly different. You have to face it away. Right, okay, we will try to remember this, but it was an old habit, so yeah, I'm not sure that I remember that. It's habits. Habits are always sort of better, aren't they? And obviously in this instance quite worse, because you do get used to, like, you know, like using things in a certain way, and then like if someone uses exactly the same thing, your head is used to the old way of doing things, and it sort of bakes your noodle, as people say. It's true, it does, definitely. Right. So we need this straw to start the process. We've got plenty of digestate. And this will start our mineral feed empire. For the final year, because we really need to earn a shed load of cash. And animals and that come first. Obviously, we're going to lose our grass field at that point. Hopefully, we'll be able to get chickens in there as well. Hopefully. But I think we could probably squeeze the chickens, because it's not a very big. My big enclosure is just... It's cheeky, as I said, it is big, but it's, yeah, I think it's 500. It's not, when I say big, it's not like a monstrous 2000 one, which would be totally unbelievable. It's just big. Right, so then, it's not too big an amount, is it really? Right, so then we need also to grab that back in as well. Let's switch that off, and yeah, this is why I always get this wrong. It just feels wrong to me when I'm like going the wrong, like dragging it down and putting it back up. So let's take this back, which is now repaired. I think it's why I like to repair down at the shop when I first get things, because like I frequently forget, you know, like for certain things like this where you like, yeah, you like only notice when you jump in it. So we've got the telehandler. Yeah, let's grab you. Let's take that straw. 68,000 litres of straw. And we should run that back, and we shall start. We'll literally start the process going now. Mini self-sufficiency. So we want mineral feed from oats, which is the middle one. Oh, we have got stones in there, haven't we? I think we put a shed load of stones in, and we were going to do, oh my life, 99,000 litres. We did have like 17. That still doesn't seem to add up to me. Well, we do know sometimes the production silos are a bit of a law unto themselves, really. They do weird things, including multiply things occasionally, but there's not an awful lot you can do about it. Inaccuracies of the game is down to giants. Yeah, I've given up worrying about it. I've got to be honest, at FS22, we'd got all of that issue with like storage affecting, and it ruined quite a few Let's Plays of mine, really. Because that is me going on about honesty, and like all of a sudden you come in on one session, you come in on a session and your oats have like, there's lots more of them than there were the session before. Or I mean, on Riverbend Springs and FS25, it actually did it before our eyes. It was quite, you know, like stupendous. Now, yeah, it's very slow on the unload because of its unreal capacity. I'm sure Hispano will actually fix this, because obviously this is a bit of a misnomer, I think. So then let's tuck you away. And there's a lot of space here, and it's not all ours though, I might add. Right, let's go grab the header. And you should... Oh, it doesn't really like it. Yeah, let's grab a tractor. Not necessarily, doesn't have to be the really big one. It could be the other really big one. I do enjoy having a go with this. It is a bit of a beaut. I love the I love the schools. I had pink last time. I actually think I prefer the pink light to this. What was it? It's like yellowy glow, isn't it? The pink was a little bit more nice, and you'll not hear me say that very often because I'm a bit of a pinkophobic. Oh, wow, that was not turning. Yeah, so I think we'll go the long way around because I don't somehow think that's going through our little entrance this. I did say that when we did it that we'd have issues with certain vehicles, and this I think is probably one of the longest we have got, 16 metre I think. Yeah, the 70 tonne is also fairly long as well. Yeah, what I was thinking as well about trailer design was I was thinking of something similar to, let me show you, and also let's shut that gate. Yeah, we could actually set a plough going, being as we like doing the ploughs. No, we want, no, not that. Not that, you're too small. Yeah, you will do nicely. And actually, if I remember rightly, there's a plough not too far away. I could use the 230, but it's really a little bit, so you could lose a little bit of speed if we use that. So I think this is probably a bit more suitable and about perfect for this. We ought to check as well, make sure it doesn't need lime again. I think we did it not long back, but I think it's every couple of... No, we're good for now. Fantastic. All right, brilliant. So let's set this going. We'll use a standard worker, because obviously they just like crack on. Yeah, there's one good thing I will say. They're not bad at ploughing. I mean, they sometimes bang into something, but they are, on the whole, not terribly bad. Now, I believe we were going to use this. No, we decided on the biggie. To be honest, this is one thing where we really could do with using the services of that T-Wolf, because that is really the best for that kind of thing. It can turn on a dime, but we've already committed, so we'll crack on with this. But it is true, the T-Wolf is definitely, for that kind of task, there is nothing better. Well, the Fendt 1150 is probably equal to the task, and so is that. There is that new class, the 280 odd, which I really love as well. Now, that's another tractor that would be very useful to actually own, and is about the right kind of range. So 280, 300, 350. Should just about make that. Oh, okay, well, I did say just about. That's what I really meant. Yeah, I'm not sure. We might leave a little bit of the metal like lying just in front of that house, but I still think I'm right. I think this is the bestest way. Let's go all around our new field and like hook back in. And I did sort of think it's quite useful as being right next to this. How are we doing with our corn crop? That's going to be next. It's going to be a bit later. That's a point. I think if you buy field 74, you get that bit of missed land. Yeah, you do. It sort of like joins up. I think if you like see that, you got a little bit of green, and then you get that goes right up to it. So yeah, you'd buy that. It's only 51,000. I think we will visit that. I'm intrigued about this. More as an extension to the farmyard, because it's very, very flat. Could well be pulled into us using it as a production slab, is what I'm thinking. Where is the gateway? It's straight ahead of us. Yeah, single gate, but still not too terrible. Right, so let's grab. We've abandoned ship. Yeah, so I'm pleased with where we are. And so, yeah, I did feel guilty when I chopped those trees down, because I thought it was unnecessary, but it's done and I can't undo it now. I think I did it for the wood chips, because I've got the poplar greenhouse now, so again, going forwards, I won't necessarily do any damage to any trees ever again. Yeah, I can use the poplar greenhouse now. I'm not sure whether it actually works completely. Yeah, I have actually got it. I'm not sure about the growing. It will sort of work. I will just see if it's still showing is in there. Is it 17,000 for the first, or same as the others? Olive, crisp, olive, guar, veg, cotton and poplars. We did, yeah, poplar greenhouse. It is. I'm not sure whether the growing will work still. Yeah, that I've sort of done a bit of things that I want to put it down. And if we use all of our wood chips this year, we may well stick that down. I might actually buy that field because that might actually be very useful for that as well. So yeah, this is a fairly hefty bit of land down here as well. I just don't want, yeah, if we do in the middle so that we don't like get any, yeah, these are the poles I was on about. These are truly what we have in Great Britain. They really are very, very reminiscent. Farm Sim Brisco's, the authenticity of the map is absolutely amazing because that is exactly what we've got in Great Britain, that kind of telegraph pole. Right, so it is August, it is 8:40. We have done all that we set our wheels in motion. I believe that should be now not moaning. It should actually be working. So we've got, how much do we need of everything? Now, well, did we do? We have oats, 11,000. Now, I believe we need to have the same amount of straw as oats. We do. So we've got 11,000. We've got more than enough. And a fifth of that in stones. Well, we've got 99 tons somehow. And we've definitely got enough. So digestate, we need to have double. So that would be 22,000 litres. Well, I think we've got everything we need to make that mineral feed. Now, obviously, we are going to need a shed load for later on when we're doing all the others as well. There's going to need to be a lot of digestate, but we have got a lot. Of course, the only bad thing is we are sort of butchering our other business of taking that to the slurry yard, but I think we probably... I don't know. I think we're probably... Yeah, it is what it is. We said what we're going to do. It's going to make us good money. But it is true. We're probably stealing away from ourselves. Yeah, I don't think it shows you mineral feed on the prices. Again, it's another one of those things. It might show you on this, though. Mineral feed top price is 1,200. I don't think it's actually... Yeah, no. What is the digestate top price at Missy B's? 732, so no. No, actually, yeah, I suppose all things considered, we're going to double that amount. Pretty much double that amount. So actually, it is the best of the two. But we are obviously stealing away some of the digestate that would get half price for what we're actually doing. So yeah, we're winning more than we're losing. Right, so then we need to speed time up because we have done everything that we need to do. Yeah, obviously, yeah, our worker is busy working across on yonder field. 3 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know what I must look. I keep forgetting to actually look at the fine tuning mod for like the time thing. Does it actually show you if you switch that on? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm getting soaked through to the skin. Yeah, I never know in a situation like this. Do you stop the worker for these few minutes? Because we know we're speeding time up and we really know that he wouldn't really be going through the rain because you can't really do this in real life unless you're Doctor Who. And even then, you can't quite do it like this. It is true. It's one of them dilemmas that you've got of playing the game when you do this particular thing of speeding time, which you know you couldn't really do. It would make you little bit special if you could do this, really. Yeah. You could probably cheat and make money a lot easier by like going into a bookies and making a fortune. Definitely you could, it's true. Right, okay, so what is in sales? Have we got anything more come through? We have, but really I would say only that and that are worth doing, which is there already. So just the flex draper. We have actually put that back. So yes. And yes. And I think that will do us nicely. And then we'll go through even 2 items. I mean, I know we should have done the other one earlier, but what I mean is it's still worth it. 80 odd thousand is not a bad amount to have. Ooh, it's a biggie again. We're getting a lot of these big headers. Yeah, there is one that's a bit special that's got quite... it's not the Bordeaux, it's... I think it's an Elmer. I didn't realise it. It's a bit special. It's... I used to love the Avant. Yeah, the Gutler Avant, I think it was. I think it was. I think it was the Avant in FS25. It was my favourite 8.2 metre mulcher. It was quite reasonable. Right, anyway, concentrate, task at hand. I'm sure it is in the... Could also... Yeah, it does fall into many categories. I think it is a weeder. Its primary purpose is... I think it is that one there. Yeah, it does more than one thing. But I think you have to go into all the categories to actually look at it, because it really is a weeder. But when you look at it in other sort of areas, it's actually, yeah, it does other things too. I think it's in cultivators as well, but I'm not sure. I found this out by a bit of an accident, but yes, I think it's cultivators. Yeah. Adjustable. Tillage, mulcher, weeder. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit special, that one. I quite like it. That one's not a terrible one to actually own, really, because it really is a bit special. I got it once in the sales, and I didn't realise how special it was until I saw adjustable. Does that mean it does all like three? But yeah, I mean, that is like weeder, mulcher, and yeah, all in one. Now we use our plough for that, I realise, but nevertheless, it is one of those a little bit special things that I really think is quite amazing. And does it get bigger than that? I think it's actually, no, it's 15.3 metres. Whereas I think the other one is obviously bigger, but obviously that is still a bit special. I think that's quite amazing. So yes, I like that a lot. Now I know it does it. No, it's going to be more than one go, I would imagine. Now that's actually not badly damaged. Yeah, and that was a bit cheaty, really. I was hoping it was going to be kind to me, because this is a bit of a beast of a thing that we're like dangling around. But yeah, the Elmer's by BC Bueller is a little bit special because it's like multi-purpose. So really, it's three things in one, which I'd imagine, truthfully, quite a few of these things with a little bit of adjustment, it is quite possible that you could actually do that. Right. Oh, we can actually see them both. Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah, because it's an extension of me. I did know this. I'm just like keep forgetting. Right, so then let's just check. No, we know there's nothing more. That's not... Yeah, I was trying to look at the... I think it's... Yeah, the corn is all we've got left now, and that is like October minimum. I think we did it in the right month, so really we should just go through till tomorrow. Are we going to go through to the corn? It might be a bit of a longer session, but we also need to go through to 9 o'clock now, whilst we can. And we shall see what the morning transpires in the sales department. Oh, 26,000. Gordon Bennett yeah, it's a bit like the whiskey business. It is expensive, but then again, it's commensurate with the gain that you actually get. Now that, yeah, it sort of is good, isn't it, really? But it's sort of not as well. Okay, so we can't afford it anyway, really, but I don't think we're ever going to stretch to that from what we've actually got. We could, so I'm not sure this will, no, we don't. Oh, yeah, we need to like change the models to get rid of the, yeah, I think we're going to get that. Oh, no, you can do it. Fantastic. I wasn't sure we'd be able to get rid of the options. Yeah, I do realise there's one thing that I made a bit of a mistake with as well, where I said I couldn't get rid of the options, and I thought in editing, I think you could. I think you had to, yeah, it was the Rumbler van by DD Mod Passion. I think I could have done. I think it was because it was Unreal. And I think that was one of the options. It was just not obvious when you looked at it, but I think you could have actually done that. So just so as I'm not doing an injustice to the Mod Passion, yeah, I think that was my mistake. So I think I could get rid of the options, which means it is a viable thing. Now the JHHG, that is true, it really isn't. You can't escape from the options on JHHGs, and I'm not having a go because obviously selling things in the sales was not really JHHG's main primary purpose for designing that beautiful bit of kit. So I'm not having a go. I'm just saying, yeah. So yeah, we can do that, and we will definitely tow that properly because it's too big to carry. Fantastic. No tractors for a while. Yeah, it's true. I don't think we'll quite get up to the Nexats money though. I think that's we've lost it. Again, you can't. Again, it is one of those things I did sort of wonder about. I mean, it's nice that we've seen it, but again, you could. I suppose it's true, and that's one thing I've never sort of said is you could do that thing where you do the 6 months financing. So that would be 6 months at 65,484 a month, or 1 year at 33,705. It's not necessarily a terrible. So you only get a lot less interest if you go for the 6 months, but you pay a lot more. Really? I'm not sure that that's not going to be an option at some point. But of course, we would be then. For this Let's Play, I would class it as with sidestepping the rules. But what I mean is, for Let's Plays where I haven't got that kind of thing, then I would consider it going forwards as actually not a bad way of not losing equipment. Wow, but for this Let's Play, we've got a set of rules that I'm not prepared to sidestep by doing a thing like that, because it just makes a mockery of your rules if you're going to do that. So 278. So we're not that's gone. So we could do. No, it's I'm not. I don't want to like take the mix. So let's just like go through to like 360 to 3 o'clock, and we shall see what the. No, we don't have to look. No. Also, we could get our. Oh, okay. Let's go and see what Josie's doing, because there's only one worker going, and that is. Oh, Josie, you really haven't got very far at all. And it was all my fault. Not really. A normal driver could quite easily get away with this, so I don't really blame myself for that. Yeah, let's shut the... Yeah, we don't want it happening again, though. Yeah, you see, it went straight back to the same place. That's my point. It's seriously, they are really not so artificially intelligent. Sometimes they're a little bit dull, but yeah, it is, as we used to say in the 80s when I was learning computer studies, as we used to call it back then, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, the thing is only as good. Ooh, now that is almost the kind of thing I was talking about. Ooh, that header's not bad. It's another biggie. Okay. Wait, no, we've already set... Yeah, we've sent off for ours, haven't we? So... Yeah, we're going to get one of these with a bigger engine, is what I was sort of thinking. So maybe we could actually do that as well. Right, so we didn't find our equipment, but you can't win them all. I say it does sort of prove that it is a thing, but it is a bit random. Yeah, you can go like 3 or 4 days, and then you can sometimes go through the evening, and it will find it the next morning. But it does definitely seem to me to be the more time you go through, as in it's like it does an hourly check rather than a monthly check, a single check. So I still think I'm right in saying it's definitely better hour per hour, because it seems to do a check on the hour, as we've seen quite a few times. You've gone through quite a few hours before it says you found it. So fantastic. No, I was going to say we did buy more than that. We did indeed. It was the header. Which again is not, it's going to take us up to almost 300,000, which is not terribly badly, all things considered. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, we are getting some whopper headers. Yeah, these are really, we're seeing more headers than we are tractors. But it is random as well. You can get some months where you're getting a shed load of tractors, so it is totally random. But then again, I like that to a degree. Right, so yeah, 300 grand. You were actually right. The mathematics is not really my strong point. Right, okay then, so... Apologies. Yeah, that was my wife ringing. My turn to mash. Right, so that's sorted. Where were we? Yes, we're going to go through to tomorrow, but we were just checking that they were dark green or not. To see... Not sure whether they're going to turn in the morning or whether they're going to turn... Yeah, that's grass. That is a point, actually. Ooh, that scared me. I thought I'd sold it by mistake. Oh, I hate this. When you press enter, it doesn't always do it. So 3 or 4. So if we did say about cutting it in September. If we cut it in October, and there's one growth stage, and then it like you've lost a cut in essence. I think we did the same last year. Do we cut it now and then it has 2 growth stages to actually? I think yeah. We'll leave it here, I think, actually, in that case. I'm not prepared to lose... But what we will do... Yeah, the one thing we will do is we are going to grab the... Did we grab the mower already? Or did we leave that down here? Yeah, no, we've just repaired it, haven't we? Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we'll grab the lorry and we'll prep a little for next session. It's true, yeah, you've sometimes... Yeah, so let's grab you... Hold that up, grab that, and we'll go and grab some bits and bobs so that we can actually do both of the mowers. Now, did we repair this side here? Does it show you if you like hover over it? Damage 11%, so it's only a little bit damaged, but it is damaged. So let's grab this, go down there, grab that, and then I think we'll leave it there. It's true, I'm not prepared to lose the cut. It's just too much for us as a farm to lose that. After all, we have got BGA, and it is a major sort of part. I always, yeah, sometimes I'm tempted as a human to like, oh, yeah, but that's more important. Yeah, but you've got to like do the farm properly, like you would in real life. You wouldn't get a farmer like say, oh yeah, let's not do that. Let's go through till tomorrow. Or next month, let's do the cut next month and miss it, and knowing that it's going to have ramifications for the actual farm, it's not going to happen. It really isn't. Ooh, this is one of the this has not been repaired either. I love belting down these roads like this because obviously, one thing obviously frequently you have a tractor. Obviously there are no tractors that do 50 miles an hour. I think there's a couple that do. Well, there is the super tractor that I'm not sure is that actually in yet. The one. Remember who does it? Is it Hispano? I don't think it is. Somebody does that super tractor that's like really like a race car that does about 70 miles an hour. It's not terribly good at farming, but it's very good at speed. Yeah, it's the gear ratio seems a bit wrong for a tractor, but it is very good at accelerating. It's a bit of a specialist, but... Right, so there. Yeah, let's go to the back. And let's get some of this gear on, which we have actually repaired. Yeah, because we're going to need the SAMAS. So, yeah, well, we're not going to need it, but we may as well do it, is what I'm thinking. Now, if we're sensible, you could stick it sideways. It doesn't really matter. Just got to do this, like, cleverly So that, I'm trying to think, is there anything else we can do yet? The Samas are, no, it's not terribly wide, this, so I don't really think you can. Fantastic, that is the field done. Yeah, no, you're only going to fit that one item on no matter how you like try. I think that should be gettable. Yeah, probably only get the, maybe the Samas, maybe the header, maybe, I'm not sure. Third time. Third time's a charm. Yeah, so again, we need to grab it from the side. Which does mean that you might be able to squeeze the header on if we're a little bit clever. Like, but it's actually, I've done this before, and the headers are much wider than you think. So I'm not sure. I suppose you could sort of put it on top, but I never find that works terribly well. Should have brought another vehicle with me, but I thought we'd do. Yeah, it's weird in your head how you always think you're going to do better than you actually do. When you actually get down, you like think, I didn't really think that through terribly well. It's true. We might just about do that. If it overhangs a little, and yeah, it is also true, you could sort of do it at an angle. Or like that, and there is a strap sort of that way on. Might have been better to do it the other way, but ooh, okay. Well, then we could always do that as well. That's not really what I had in mind. That was the collisions. I knew I shouldn't have done that, really. Oh no, you need to extend. Bit of overhang. Yeah, we've got overhang on two sides. There's not much of the header overhanging. It's more the Samas. It's just, yeah, we've really totally knocked that a kilter, and its 3-point is now. No, it's alright. We might actually grab the header as well. That's what I'm worried about. Might get away with that. Might just strap this little lot. Yeah, obviously, we don't necessarily need the. I'm sure there's one about here. I need to go this side. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that's it. I think it's just that one. So not terrible. 3 out of 4 items. And we don't need the Pilatus at the minute, so we're good. Yeah, it's the Samas was my main thing, and obviously the other two are bonuses. No, go on then, we'll let you go. Oh my life. Yeah, sort of what I'm doing is this will be, I think, session 17. I think I'm on 16 for the start from the new farmer start, and we've just sold everything. So we're sort of a few months behind. It would be the equivalent to us going through to December, January to sell all of our goods. So obviously we're a little bit behind because we've done more work, as in because we've done contracts and things. So we're a few stages behind. But I think I'm going to go like for the year, which should be. Although you start from scratch, sometimes you go through a year. So I'm not sure the years. We ought to have a look. I ought to do a comparison. Yes, I mean, it's harder to make, yeah. Let's be honest, you get given the equivalent of millions when you have a new farm start. If you sold every item on certain farms, on most farms, even the fields alone, can be worth $1 million, $1.5 million, $1.25 million. Whereas to start from scratch, that's what I like about it. You're starting, and with this one, we start from 100,000. So, you know, you can't compare your new farmer start to your start from scratch, really, because it wouldn't be fair. You've you know, been given very little on the start from scratch, and you've been given a real massive handout, like you've inherited a really good farm. So you can't directly compare them. So really, I don't think we can do it as a time basis. No, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, yeah, let's go around the long way. We're not in a rush. Yeah. So really, I think what I'm saying is the comparison to us getting to the end of our year this year, I think that's about the same as the new farmer start, all things considered. Now that was a session and a half, yeah, like literally selling and grabbing all of the products that we'd like done was so intensive. There was so many, even 5-ton pallets. There were so many. It was unbelievable. Yeah, really, it was a monster session last night. Actually, yeah, I did it, and I thought this is where I'm going to leave it. So we're going to have a bit of an extravaganza, a week. A couple of weeks, I think, of nothing but Saxlingham. I think a Saxlingham event. So, just not sure when to do it. Maybe October. Or the last 2 weeks in September would also be a thing. That could actually work. So, I'm still not sure whether to post the 2 Saxlinghams and also do one other Let's Play to keep them sort of going at the same time. At the minute I'm posting 3 again because I have got a lot of sessions sort of. Wow, that's a bit of a weird. Yeah, we missed a bit there. Ooh. Let's grab this little lot off, and then we will repair the other bits, and we will. I'm trying to think who we've got. Well, no, we've got the 2 big tractors. I don't want to use the. I'm trying to think of its name. I can picture it in my head. I just can't think of its name. It's the crawlery thing. It's this, the T-Wolf, the Prinoth. That's the one. Yeah, the Prinoth T-Wolf. I don't want to use this for like doing the fields because it is a nightmare. It really does do some horrible jaggedy bits. So let's get the 2 big tractors. Yeah, you are one. Let's grab you. I think this has actually got the course looking at it. Right, so no, it's on the other bit over here. That's right. Yeah, the ground where I've got the productions on the new farm start, where I've got it was very, very uneven, so it really represented a terrible challenge, really, for me to do it. So yeah, that was quite difficult. Yeah, it did. I was like, yeah, I was having to sort of only grab 2 at a time because the ground was so uneven. It's something I keep saying, obviously. As I'm sort of going through, I'm trying to learn my lesson on best ways to do things. Now, I realise, obviously, I usually do productions at the farmyard, and I don't always have perfect, but I think I'm going to have to do almost like a loading area that has got to be bigger. Let's just see. It is the 10.2 metre course, and it is on this field. So, right, that one is ready to rock. Now then, somebody's damaged. Let's get this repaired as well. That is the front mower. Yeah, I just want to get all these auxiliary jobs out. They really are quite important. Okay, so everything was damaged. Oh, I keep forgetting about that. So yeah, the railings that are there. Should we stick it right near the start mark? So there's no excuse for it not starting properly. And we want the class now. That's the only other one I'm going to trust with this task. No, it's in there. It's in that field. That's what we need. So we've had quite a few months where we've gone through and we have not got the my special Orion drop. Plenty of stones in here, so we need to grab those off too. I think, yeah, I'm not sure. The stone picker, I think, is in a worker's hand. Still a bit bad in a field that's smaller. Yeah, I think really it's a bit like you've sort of, I think, got to do the outer bit yourself. But then by the time you've done that on a field of that size, now then let's repair this, because this both looks a bit damaged as well. Ah, so that was mainly the plough. Well, at least we've done the ploughing, so yeah, we'll hopefully get this. That's true, we could actually put them back to back, because it doesn't matter about you blocking in the same implement, does it really? Ah. Let's forget about that. Oh yeah, you can join them with something else. Right, so we need Samaz, which needs repairing too. And we do need to grab the Samaz off the trailer too, which I think is this side. We should let us do this. Again, down to the generous. Yeah, again, and one of those game mechanics that is generous. Now we need to put this in swath mode as well. Brilliant. The amount of times that still catches me out. Now we repaired that not long back. Why has that got £6 worth of damage for just travelling down the road? I suppose the answer to that is game mechanics are not perfect. Yeah, it's moved, it's done. Yeah, the game's got the way it works. It's probably time. It's got to be sort of a factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the course as well, because obviously this will not be the same course. It is slightly smaller. I know it's only second grade stage, but if we leave it any more, I've often find this on most maps. So this was the 11 metre, wasn't it? So this is field 72. And yeah, 3s will do nicely. Let's do 4. Yeah, because when it turns in sometimes on a 3, it's still like, it clangs into the side, which it really shouldn't do. So it's a 9.4. It's still not terribly small. I prefer this to the Poitinger, because the Poitingers you need to keep pushing the knuckles out to make it its proper 10 metre size. This just goes. I'd sooner have this than I would have the Poitinger. So that's both courses set in. So it is true, actually. We possibly could do with a second baler. No, we could. That's true, actually. I missed a trick. I could actually use the. Yeah, I don't necessarily need to bale both fields. I could grab some loose. We could set the baler on the second field, which we will do now. And then I will pick up the first field with the mover. Sounds like a plan to me. It's true. I'm not. It is true. I'd totally forgotten about that we've got the mover as well. I was just thinking about, oh, I need to bail the other field too. Not necessarily. Fantastic. Right, excellent. So we might actually have that course already. No, it's hard to say. No, we can't have, because we've only just made it. Fantastic. So we'll set this going, and I'll do the mover on the first field. It's bales. It's true. No, it's not. No, it's loose when we cut it. Right. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.